Yo guys, what is up? A very good morning, afternoon, or evening from wherever you are in the world. We are back with another live stream here on the channel, giving you guys some time to join in before we dive in. As always, in the meantime, make sure to let me know in the chat if the audio is performing as it should, and then we'll dive in to the market updates and see what's going on. For today, we also have a special guest, so make sure to stay tuned because today is going to be another amazing market update, guys. Another amazing live stream as always. And let me also know, what do you guys think of the new background? As you can see, a different background setting today. Let me know what you guys think. Okay guys, hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. Okay, great guys, I see everybody's back on the stream. Fantastic guys, we're just setting it up real quick. Okay, let me see, everybody can hear me loud and clear. Fantastic guys, I hope everybody's doing well as always. Jimmy, what's up? Luke, what is up? What's up guys? What are we trading today? Obviously EURUSD should continue to push down in towards lows. As you can see, EURUSD has been selling off very aggressively in the last 2 days. More on this, I'm going to be updating you guys in a second. I can see background is decent, but you can still decorate as per your creativity to feel like you are in trading mode. Yeah, I feel like maybe we need to get something going on here in the background, but in the meantime, I do hope that you guys like it. If you have any suggestions for the background, let me know, and that would obviously help. I'm thinking about... it's super loud. What's up with the sound, guys? Is the sound too loud? Let me see. How about this? Is this better? I put a little bit lower for you guys. Now it should be performing a little bit better. A green screen? No, it's not a green screen. As you can see, I can actually go back. So it's not a green screen, definitely not. Guys, EURUSD has been selling off. Now let's see why it is selling off. Let's see why it is selling off. First of all, what I want to hear from you guys is, what positions are you currently in, guys? What positions are you currently in? Just for my knowledge, because then I have a better idea of what to check in on. In the meantime, guys, for those who are wondering, I created a new market updates channel purely for market updates. It's pinned here in the chat, so make sure to subscribe to that channel because that is where you can expect the daily market updates to be posted inside of. So let's see. So I see people are in gold, people are in Aussie yen, people are in GU shorts. Gold. I see a lot of people on gold longs, and I see a lot of people on EURUSD sells. Congratulations if you're in those. I see Kevin Alexander is in GJ shorts as well. I know that Thomas is also in some GJ shorts. Now, first of all, okay, I have a clear idea. I think I know what pairs I'm going to be discussing based on the pairs that are being mentioned here in the chat. Let's see. We have gold, we have USDJPY, we have GBPUSD, and we have, let's see, what's the last pair going to be? The last pair is going to be, yeah, I think EURUSD is a nice one to discuss. So I dropped a poll, guys. Make sure to vote. Over there you can vote on what pair you want me to discuss first after I do the usual EURUSD trade breakdown. I'm going to be looking for some trade opportunities today. Let's see. Yeah, let's just dive into EURUSD. So first of all, EURUSD has been selling off obviously extremely hard in the past few days. We can clearly see that the overall market has dumped around 200 pips in towards downside. Now, the main reason for this overall dump, and I kind of highlighted it on Twitter, guys. If you want to follow me on Twitter, by the way, make sure to follow this account. I've posted it here in the chat of the stream. Make sure to follow me on that account because I'm posting a lot about there. Here, so the euro just had its biggest drop in 2+ months, not just EURUSD, but obviously euro NZD has been dropping. We can see euro AUD dropping, we can see euro CAD dropping, and we can obviously see the whole euro dropping. Now, why is this? Well, between the European Union and the United States, there has been a trade deal established. Now, the European Union agreed to 15% tariffs on exports for a lot of vague promises made by Ursula von der Leyen. She said that she committed $750 billion into buying US energy, but that's not really realistic because over the last year, the United States actually exported $330 billion worth of energy. So she's making a promise of buying more than the US is actually selling. So that's interesting to hear. And furthermore, obviously Merz, so the Prime Minister of Germany, or the Bundeskanzler of Germany, he said that German economy will suffer significant damage. And Bayrou, also the minister, or the president, not the president, but the minister of France, said that it's a very dark day for Europe. So the overall sentiment in Europe is definitely bearish on this overall deal. And that is also how Europe, or let's say traders on a global scale, are interpreting the news. And that's causing EURUSD, but also euro AUD to fall, euro NZD to fall, euro CAD to fall. So over and across the board, we've been seeing a lot of these pairs fall. Now, euro CAD actually quite a nice trade opportunity after grabbing this 1 hour liquidity over here. But without further ado, let's dive into EURUSD, because that's the one that most of you are interested in. So EURUSD today has obviously been selling off. Now, EURUSD, the problem that I have with this pair, and the only problem that I have with this pair, is that overall swing wise it is still bullish, right? So we can clearly see that we got the swing breaker structure, swing low, swing high. Now, yes, we are still trading at a premium, so we're trading above the 0.5 fib. So further downside, I mean, I'm still perfectly happy with that, but obviously this overall is the last kind of like line of defense, this area of daily demand, right? Which is the overall sell before the bigger buy up, breaking the overall market structure. So for myself, this is kind of like now the overall liquidity grab underneath the initial reaction up. What you now would want to see, if any potential longs were to come into play, you would want to see some kind of slowdown on the 1 hour, maybe on the 4 hour time frame. But you can for now see that what the market actually just did today is literally retrace back into around the London Open, and then just literally sell off from that area of consolidation back in towards downside. So that just shows how bearish the EURUSD currently is. So I'm definitely not looking for any buys. We'll need price to really stabilize within this area of demand that we have over here. And this is kind of like the last, let's say, line of defense. Once EURUSD breaks this, because I'm expecting somewhat of a bounce, but to be honest, I'm kind of expecting it more to break it. So we could see somewhat of a bounce back up, which could give some short-term longs, but I'm not really seeing like a longer-term long come into play now with this overall trade deal established. I really think this could kind of like spark an overall deeper correction on the EURUSD, especially also if we look at what we're seeing now from the dollar index on a monthly time frame. I think a lot of you have probably seen this chart. I'm just cleaning up my chart real quick. But overall, what you can see here very clearly is the overall ascending channel that we're inside of. And now I don't really trade trend lines. I even make jokes about trend lines very often, but you cannot kind of like deny that the overall price action here within this overall channel is being respected with absolute perfection. So overall, the dollar obviously has been in an overall uptrend around the start of the, let's say, the financial crisis back in 2008, right? So we can clearly see that we get the overall push up, the overall retracement, the overall push up, the overall retracement, the overall push up, and then again another retracement in towards the downside. Now, after pretty much taking out the low, right? So underneath the low, that's where, let's say, the sell side liquidity is resting, and above the high, that is where the buy side liquidity is resting. Take out the high, reverse, take out the low, and you're kind of like looking at a reversal as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see overall that I see, by the way, that my chart indeed is a little bit screwed. Let me make it a little bit bigger, guys, for you. So this should be bigger, guys. This should be bigger. Now the chart is better on the screen. Sorry about that, guys. So overall here on the dollar index, now that the market has retraced into obviously discounted pricing, so this is the overall swing in towards the highs, we can clearly now see that the market has retraced in towards discount pricing, and you always want to be pretty much looking for those buys. Now this here was the impulsive phase, then we came back into the overall corrective phase, and now I'm looking for the new impulsive phase in towards the highs pretty much to be established. So we have, if we turn on the 50% body candle indicator here, we have these two imbalance candles. These two imbalance candles now have the potential to push the market back in towards the highs. Once this monthly fractal high breaks, and I think, by the way, that this is also the weekly fractal high. No, it's not. So once the monthly fractal high breaks, but actually, to be very honest, already the weekly, that's really the moment that I'm going to be ready to look at some more buying opportunities on the dollar. And I really see kind of like more of a reversal up higher happening. So what I'm currently waiting for here is just for, okay, how is this week going to close? Will we see that weekly strong bullish close on the dollar? That would mean that this would then turn into a demand zone, and we could from there look at some bigger swings further in towards the upside there on the dollar index. And this would actually replicate the entire previous presidency of Trump, where before and prior to his presidency, we saw an area of consolidation. Then when he became president, we saw manipulation. So this is kind of like an AMD play. And then throughout his, let's say, first few months, we saw an overall distribution of heavy shorts in towards the downside. And then throughout the summer, kind of like that overall bounce back up after grabbing, let's say, the liquidity. And we're seeing similar price action here with, first of all, that bounce, then one more drop, and then the real bounce in towards the highs. And the same is pretty much happening here, where you have the overall accumulation phase, then you have the manipulation phase in towards the highs, and then you have the overall distribution phase in towards the downside. You have the first bounce up after grabbing liquidity, then we come back down for the lows once again, and now maybe the real play in towards the upside will happen. Now, for me, what I'm kind of looking at to show me that that real bounce up higher will happen is a break of the current fractal high here. Once that were to break, then again, this here for me becomes a clear area of demand, and then I'll be happy to continue buying throughout that area of demand further in towards the upside. So that's what I'm currently waiting to see here on gold, or on the dollar, and that could then cause an overall deeper correction for example, EURUSD further in towards the downside, but mainly also a pair like GBPUSD with a further and deeper correction, because I definitely see the potential there for GU to further correct in towards the downside aggressively. Now, GU is one of my top picks for further shorts in the upcoming weeks. I've been highlighting GU shorts for quite a while now. Overall, what has happened here on GU is that we have a weekly overall swing high. This is kind of like the first overall swing high in towards the downside, creating all of these kind of like descending highs that we had here. Now, after taking out that liquidity high, what has happened is that we've actually seen a double fractal break in towards the downside here for GBPUSD. That means that this here now is my weekly area of supply. And what I'm actually just looking for is a further short position in towards the downside here for GBPUSD. Overall, we are kind of like still inside of this sell for the buy here on the weekly, but for me, we've already kind of like tapped into that overall order flow with the overall initial push that we saw in towards the upside over here. So after then pushing in towards that liquidity point, we then saw a double fractal break in towards the downside. Weekly supply is currently in control, and I'll now be looking for an overall deeper correction here from GU, at least back down in towards the 0.5, which is around the 1.29 level to 1.30 for GBPUSD. So let's see if that will happen. For now, that is then the weekly selling point. That corresponds perfectly with the overall daily area of supply. So very simply said, the immediate kind of trade here that I see, or the immediate kind of trade opportunity that I see here, is an overall sell from this daily area of supply with the stop loss above the fractal high, targeting the overall beginning of, let's say, liquidity of the overall, let's say, wedge or channel that we have over here. So I'll be looking to sell from that point, from let's say just the overall daily area of supply. You could obviously use the entire order flow range, so that would be this like that, that's also perfectly fine to kind of like sell like that, and then obviously you can kind of take at least a minimum of a 1 to 2 risk to reward. But what I'll personally be doing is also dropping in towards the 4-hour time frame, and looking to identify potential areas of supply. So for example, this area of range over here, it's not the strongest area of supply, but let's say we take out that range high here and then see the 4-hour change of character. That for me will definitely be a selling opportunity from where I'll be happy to take an initial sell position, and then I'll place my stop loss above the overall daily fractal high, and then I'll look to scale in on any further momentum that we then receive from GBPUSD. So this for me is the main kind of like opportunity for myself as a dollar trader that I'm looking to capitalize on in the upcoming weeks / months. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. In the meantime, I see some questions. Are you back in the Netherlands? Yes, we are. X marked my comment on the post as a probable spam. Make sure to just comment again or get a blue tick. Which country belongs to you? Currently living in the Netherlands. And let's see other questions. Okay, no. So no real other questions. Now what we're going to dive into then is gold. So yeah, you guys know kind of like my top pick here for the upcoming weeks. So that is mainly GU shorts. I'll be looking to just further short this in towards the downside. For me also, the rate cut cycle is about to start for the pound, which should further weaken the pound also from a fundamental perspective. So I just really see this as an amazing opportunity to further short GU in towards the downside. So yeah, this is where mainly my high conviction plays are going to come from. Now let's dive into gold, as most of you want to dive into that. Now gold is a little bit of a tricky one because at the moment we are in a very complicated phase of the market where markets are consolidating. We can clearly see that we're kind of trading within this overall range here between, let's say, the market high, which is positioned over here, and the market low, which is positioned over here. Now we can see that we've been retesting the overall 0.75 mark many times, and that is a natural barrier of resistance. Now furthermore, a fib level that I love touching on is the 0.5 fib. That has also been acting as a natural area of support here. But to be very honest, gold has had many issues, man, especially after kind of like this positive trade deal data for the US coming out. That is currently causing gold to kind of sell off. We've now seen an overall daily fractal structure shift here on gold happen, which to me means we could potentially see somewhat of maybe of a steeper drop to take out some more liquidity, maybe even take out around 32.50 before you're really seeing that overall aggressive reversal back in towards the highs. So I'm currently not really looking at longs. Overall, for now, this remains the area of supply that is in control. So now what you want to do inside of that area of supply is monitor the lower time frame for some potential entries. Now, this here isn't the strongest area of 1 hour supply that we're currently reacting to, these 2 wicks. That is currently what the market has reacted to. To be honest, this is now the demand zone that is currently in control or fighting against this area of supply. So I know most of you are obviously looking at some intraday trades here on gold. For me, I'm still kind of like intraday long, I would say. This here is also not a very high probability area of supply. I would prefer for us to maybe take out a little bit more liquidity before looking for another downside push. So not really favoring any shorts just yet here on gold, but also not favoring longer term longs as the overall daily supply is currently in control. So monitoring gold for some further short positions on the 1 hour / 15 minute time frame. For now, also here on the 15, we've seen within the overall area of demand that we have, right? So this overall sub for the big buy up, that we had low swipe, and then here the change of character, meaning that the sub for the buy for now is in control. So as long as this demand zone holds, gold should push up higher on the intraday time frame, and I'll be looking to grab some more liquidity above these descending highs. Obviously, gold can drop at any point in time, but what I'm waiting for is for the highest probability trade to start forming. For me, the highest probability trade should start forming once we take out some liquidity highs and then see some real downside momentum. For now, obviously here, the intraday or the overall internal structure remains bullish with higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher low. So it doesn't make sense to just start shorting from here with, let's say, you viewing this as an area of supply. For shorts, you would need to break the structural low, then take out some liquidity, and then look for the change of character to then get into a short position. Otherwise, short term, longs, in my opinion, make a little bit more sense here on gold. So I hope that clarifies the gold situation for you guys. Now, the next pair that we can have a look at is obviously USDJPY and GJ, a pair that many of you have been requesting. UJ, guys, UJ has been an amazing long opportunity, further pushing in towards the upside. I think it becomes very, very clear here. And I think I want Rucker to break this one down, if you guys don't mind. We're going to give him a very, very, very warm welcome here on the stream, guys. Give him a round of applause within the chat and say welcome to Rucker, guys, because Rucker is back from, in Dutch we say, weg geweest. He's been gone. Rucker is terug van weg geweest. My Dutch followers will know what that means. But Rucker's here to break down UJ because he was the main man making a lot of money on this UJ. And he actually also shared this as a signal within Discord. So yeah, Rucker, please join.
Yes, guys. What is up? What is up? What is up? So we're here back in the stream in our new Amsterdam office, actually. Yeah, great to see you all again here. Yeah, we have been picking up the pace again. We are sharing more trades now within our Discord. Still need to get a bit in the flow, but we're getting there. Also currently positioned in EuroCAD shorts and some other fundamental positions I took. Just shared it in my update channel. But yeah, let's talk about UJ, guys. So I still need to get a little bit used to Mr. Fabio's setup here from his trading view. But let's see. So this was a 4-hour trade on UJ. Let me put this into replay modus if I can. So replay trading, bar replay, yes, please. So want to take you guys back to this moment. So obviously I was reading fundamentals about the Japanese yen, and there was this article by Think ING saying that a lot of positives for the yen had already been priced in, but the negatives weren't. So therefore they were looking for a rebound on UJ back to the 1.48 level. And as you can see, there was still an open supply zone over here, which you can refine to this one. But breaking down the strategy and the confluences for these trades, these were actually pretty simple. So what we had here was a swing bullish break on the 4-hour. Next to that, we also had a 50% retracement to the to the 50%. We also had a beautiful 3 condition POI here. Let me explain, because here we take liquidity in the demand zone, then it pushes up to the swing. So we have a swing BOS here, and then we take out this low as well, grabbing liquidity before we wait for the order flow to shift and the 4-hour fractal. So as you can see, currently displayed by the fractal indicator, we see the 4-hour body close and the 4-hour fractal break. We have a descending wedge price action, which it breaks out. So I put my entry on the sell before the buy. And for my target, I just had liquidity, this liquidity eye, or the supply zone, marking out exactly a 1 to 3. And as you can see, if we play the price, we got tagged, and basically in one line we went straight to TP. So this was a great fundamental and technical setup combined here on UJ. So do you guys have any questions about this UJ long? Please let me know in the chat. Is this jet still working?
Yeah, it should work. It should work, but there's always a delay of like 10 seconds or 20 seconds before they hear what you say.
Fair enough. So guys, any questions for this UJ trade? In the meantime, I can look at EuroCAD. So
what happened to Fabio's hair? Not sure what happened to my hair, Akash.
So here on EuroCAD, I just entered a short. Reason being is that we have very sharp downward momentum. Also, there are some bearish fundamentals by Forex fundamentals for this pair, and we just had a liquidation in the London session. So after this rejection, I just entered the trade like this and just marked out a 1 to 2, 1 to 3 to the lows. And yeah, this is currently going pretty well. Still expecting that the 4-hour demand is going to get hit. I also think this will be a strong high here, especially if you look at the monthly. We grabbed a lot of liquidity here, and we have a very overextended move on EURUSD. So definitely expecting more downside for this pair, especially if the euro momentum keeps going to the downside. And also there are no more rate cuts expected by the Bank of Canada. And next week or tomorrow, there is a interest rate decision for the Bank of Canada. The expectations are that the rate cuts are not coming anymore due to tariff stability. There is a trade deal coming with Canada, and the inflation is in check. So definitely expecting more downside on all the CAD cross pairs. So this means a bullish Canadian dollar.
I think it grabbed liquidity nicely as well, this one on the 1 hour, no?
Yeah, exactly. So what happened is I saw there was no liquidation in this move. We grabbed the liquidity. I saw the 1 hour rejection. Maybe there was a 15-minute fractal as well. No, I just saw the rejection and I thought this is likely just to continue and tap the demand first, as I don't think this low is going to hold.
Yeah, it's the perfect kind of like impulsive trade based on like where momentum is. And you can see it's kind of like a dead cat bounce, and then the overall market just needs more additional liquidity in order to fuel that next leg down. So just kind of like fake change of character style, and then boom, continues. So also very important lesson, guys, that not every change of character means something, right? Like in this particular situation, you see a bullish change of character take place here, right? If you remove the risk to reward tool, you can clearly see that there's a bullish change of character, and maybe it will go up, like we don't know. But obviously, like in these kind of situations, it's very risky to start buying this change of character, because you might think, aha, okay, bullish change of character, but you always need to understand where does the change of character happen. Like here you can see that there's no connection yet made with this overall sell before the buy demand zone, this one over here. So because there's no connection made, like the change of character, at least to us, doesn't mean anything, because the change of character can happen everywhere, right? But it's all about where the change of character actually takes place, and that's important to always understand and keep in mind. That's something that I just wanted to add there to Rutger's explanation, guys.
Yeah, thanks. So these are the positions I'm currently in. I'm also in a few other positions, so mainly buying Canadian dollar, still in GBPUSD shorts as well. All the way from up here, and yeah, it has been consolidating for a while, but still looking for these lows to go. You can see there's probably also a fake change of character happening here, as we now connected the order flow, and I expect the bearish order flow to hold. Also, I'm in NZD CAD as well, still expecting more downside, still think these lows can go. Also the order flow shifted bearish. And for CAD JPY, I'm looking for longs, just want some liquidations to happen. But in around this area, I am looking to go long up to here. So that's what I am expecting for CAD JPY.
Yeah, maybe a good one to discuss as well is I think GBPUSD. That's a pair that we received a lot of questions about as
GJ,
well. Yeah, GJ.
Yeah, so GJ is bearish mainly because the pound is really bearish as of this moment. So the thing is, if the yen basket is going to hold this 4-hour change of character into this order flow, there's definitely room to take out these highs. So definitely looking for the liquidity here. If you look at the overall 4-hour swing structure, you can see we are still swing bearish, and then if we draw our premium versus discount, you can see there is still room to retrace to the liquidity, which perfectly aligns with the premium prices, which also perfectly aligns with this open supply zone. So I am looking for another change of character, then I think I will cancel my CAD JPY long bias. We'll also have to see what news comes out for the yen, but then it would be great to see some form of retracement to then wait for a new change of character and trade back to the swing low ultimately. So this is my view for JPY basket as of now. What about Aussie NZD? So Aussie NZD is still bearish. If you look on the daily, yeah, we have our swing bearish move over here. We're currently in this refined daily supply. We had the double change of character on the daily as well, and we're now still rejecting this supply zone. So if this supply zone is to hold, which took liquidity, there was a break as well, we might have one more tap above these highs, but then still expecting a deeper retracement for Aussie New Zealand dollar. So is it Fabio Jr.? Maybe. I'm 1 year younger, guys, so I am the junior after all.
Yeah, guys, and we're giving away a 25k account again, another prop firm challenge with the trading pit. So if you want to win the best question of today, last week we had the best setup or trade breakdown. Today the best question is going to win. So every single best question from now on has the opportunity to win a $25,000 challenge. Fabio out.
All right, so come with the good questions, guys. Happy to answer them all. I don't know which pairs you already discussed. I'm getting a call here. Aussie USD. Let's look at Aussie USD, guys. So Aussie USD is selling off massively. I was already looking at these lows. They already have been hit, but the momentum is still very bearish. The fundamentals look bearish as well. So let's see if it is going to hold here in this demand zone. But since there's no liquidity in the move, yeah, we might also get a move through here. That really depends also on how strong the dollar is as of now. So for now, just going to see what price action is going to do here before choosing any direction for Aussie USD. Not buying, not selling as of this moment. GU, I think you guys already discussed. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen is looking great for a short, possibly, if the Aussie weakness is coming through. First, we had the first fractal break over here again. Then we took the internal liquidity over here. Beautiful play. We had some breaks to the downside. So we failed to break this high. Therefore, we could see a possible new lower low over here, but want to wait for another confirmation before taking any. This could be an area of support with the liquidity lying around here. But yeah, you can always manage your trade if the price comes here and you see a reversal happening. So that's my view on Aussie yen. So maybe look for something like this. Or if you want to be safe, stop loss above the high and wait for like another retracement to then trade back to the lows. Or you can be aggressive and put it on the next fractal break with the stop loss above the current fractal high and go for like a sharper trade. So could you tell, Rutger, could you tell how is UJ and EU both bullish at the same time in higher time frame? Well, they're both different currencies. And USD is the is the base currency in the first pair, and the cross pair in the second currency. So yen has been very weak, euro has been very strong. Therefore, higher time frame, they have been moving in the same direction. If you lost your funded account tomorrow, what would your comeback plan be? Well, we actually lost a funded account pretty recently, so we just made one. We trade the AB structure, so trade 2 funded accounts and trade them one by one with higher risk, and make sure to pass like half of them. If you do 10 challenges, you can have 5 or 4 challenges passed, and there with those funded accounts, if you trade them low risk, you will never lose them, and you will keep printing payouts as long as you have an edge in the market and you're consistent. What's decent percentage risk per trade on funded accounts? So I used to risk a lot more, but the risk of blowing is much higher. Now I just like to trade half to 0.75% risk. So really never ever lose my funded accounts. So how can a trader tell if price is just pulling back to a supply or demand zone for a bounce, or if it's actually breaking through because the balance between buyers and sellers has shifted? You can never know. You never know what the market is going to do. You can follow your plan though. Does news truly affect Forex pairs? Yes, it does. That's what drives the market. Let's see. I get a lot of questions now. What's the biggest mistake you've made and what did you learn from it? Don't risk too much on your funded accounts, because then you will get greedy and you will end up blowing them faster. How do you filter out fractals or noise in the market? I think Fabio just touched on this. Just play back the stream a bit. How to find entries on situations when aggressive moves price in the charts. Just follow your plan. If there's a lot of momentum, wait for a double break, for example, and don't just buy the first break, because this also can be a liquidity grab.
Yeah, a good question I think that I've been seeing here is on USDJPY. I noticed that you entered the long position. Maybe you can go to the UJ chart, Rutger. Yeah, sure. I noticed that you entered the long position after price pulled back into demand after the fractal break. The question is, why don't you just enter on the fractal break itself? Wait, let me give you the microphone back.
Yeah, so what you can do, and Jimmy does this a lot, is you can enter based on the fractal break. In this case, I wanted my risk to reward to be a little bit better, so I ended up placing it here. But the sell stops are really good and the buy stops are really good to trade the impulse, because you also see a lot of the times that the price just breaks through and it doesn't come back. You see this a lot with gold, with yen, and some other pairs as well. So definitely use this, but I like to wait for the alerts and then evaluate if I like the trades or not. So I didn't see it in hindsight. Like I saw it when the break already happened, and then I decided to trade it because I had all the confluences.
Yeah, good question. Let's see, what else? Why not go to the lower time frame for a better risk to reward? The thing is with the lower time frame is, like, you can go into lower time frame. I'm not sure what the 1 hour time frame was doing here on UJ at the time. Let's see, pretty similar price action. Yeah, so indeed you can also again see fake area of supply. This is pretty much what we always tend to look at. You can see obviously that the momentum was in towards the downside, but now on the supply zone that Rutger here is drawing in on the 1 hour time frame, you can clearly see that it has descending highs right above it, and that within the overall push itself in towards the downside, that there's actually not any liquidity being grabbed. So what happens is that you kind of already know that that is pretty much going to be the end of, let's say, the overall downward push, and that it should at least fly up. I think these are very good trades to keep an eye on if you're looking to enter purely based on a high break of the fractal structure, as opposed to, for example, placing a buy limit on top of the area of demand. Because the thing is that when there is a lot of open liquidity resting, you often see the market just kind of like push past that liquidity very rapidly. You can also kind of see it with that bullish candlestick, which kind of got followed after the manipulation. This one over here, so this big bullish candlestick up, it took out this high over here, and then straight away you see a very heavy bearish reaction back in towards the downside. So in these kind of situations, when you have these descending highs open here, it could be a very smart decision just to enter on the overall fractal high break, as opposed to the overall retest of the area of demand. So some other questions that we see here: the high that you placed your stop loss on AUDJPY, is that not an inducement trap? Let's go to AUDJPY. If we scroll down a bit, yeah. So where did we place our stop loss? Did you place a stop loss or risk reward tool?
Yeah, so I said one of the options is just to follow the order flow. You
just sell on the overall low break. And then put the stop loss above the highs. Yeah, so no, for us, this is not necessarily like an inducement where the stop loss is placed, because if you go to the lower time frame being the 1 hour, you're going to see here that liquidity got grabbed on the overall X, and it is therefore a strong high. So yeah, no, we wouldn't consider that that high overall to be inducement. Do you recommend approaching phase 2 of a funded challenge any different than a phase 1? To be honest, not really. We approach them pretty much in the exact same way, although our preference at the moment goes out to phase 1 challenges, just because with the overall aggressive passing model that we personally apply, we've yielded more success with phase 1 accounts, just because the phase 2 also obviously takes a lot longer to pass. What else? Let's see. Yeah, EURUSD is pushing beautifully in towards the downside. Let's see how much R that is currently running.
Ooh,
yes, beautiful. We need
2.5k, guys. So it's 5k floating now. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, so the account is $215,000 in equity, with the balance being at 210. So we need around 2.5%, to pass this $200,000 challenge. So let's see.
Almost passed, and then the EURUSD trade is running.
Yeah, the EURUSD trade is running around 2% now in profit. So that is also performing pretty well. Hope you guys can see it on
those are different accounts, by the way.
Yeah, the different accounts, but we're gonna post those screenshots as well in Discord. So if you're not inside Discord yet, make sure to check the description of this video. If we've got a trade deal established, why is the Swiss franc reacting bearish as a safe haven? Let's have a quick look at the Swiss franc. So GP Swiss is pushing up higher. You can clearly see that here on Monday. Let me just open up the chart overall. That on Monday morning, actually on the London Open, GP Swiss pushed back up in towards the highs, incredibly strong. Same goes for USD Swiss. I'm not sure about entity Swiss, or I just know that G Swiss, Euro Swiss, and USD Swiss flew in towards the absolute moon, because obviously the Swiss franc always will benefit from uncertainty in the world, especially if there's uncertainty surrounding trade deals. Now, with certainty to a certain extent in relationship to those trade deals, we are therefore seeing weakness from the Swiss franc, and that is the reason why GP Swiss, why USD Swiss, and why Euro Swiss, for example, have been pushing up higher. What should influence your trades more? Fundamental news or technical analysis? Should we take only trades that fit both? No, not necessarily. I think a lot of you in here have already been profitable or have a proven strategy that works purely based on technicals. Fundamentals can just increase your edge by, let's say, that 5 or maybe 10%. But in addition to that, fundamental analysis also just gives you a very good starting point to form the overall bias, or to form, let's say, an overall trade direction. Because a lot of you probably can relate to the issue that you have, is that when you wake up in the morning, you open your chart, you don't know which pair to trade, or you don't see any opportunities. However, by having that fundamental bias, you can then actually very easily form an overall, let's say, bias to take a trade on. So yeah, pretty much like that. So that's, for example, also the reason why, let's say, you could have taken a GBP Swiss long from the overall 0.5 fib retracement here on the bullish 4-hour fractal structure. So you could have taken longs after it retraced towards 0.5 fib. Here, if you, so Roku is drawing in the 0.5 fib, so you can clearly see the market retraced exactly in towards 0.5 fib. Then you go to the lower time frame, being the 1 hour, and then you can kind of see that there was that liquidation wick. Not sure when that took place, but maybe on the this rollover candle. Well, then here on the 15-minute time frame, at least, you can kind of see that you could enter there on the buy stop of the overall fractal high, and then that based on fundamentals. Because maybe from a technical perspective, the overall trade doesn't make sense, but let's say on the initial kind of like analysis that you do, but now by obviously applying the overall fundamental analysis, you know, okay, you're going to be looking for those longs on GP Swiss, and therefore you kind of identify, okay, I'm ready to go in with that overall high break setup. So let's see, guys. I'm looking for a very good question now for who is going to be the winner of this $25,000 giveaway. From now on, I'm going to be reading every single question that is now posted in the chat. Don't spam the chat, just post one question. And if it's a good question, we're going to be stuck in that question. So let's see. What is the best question that you guys can come up with? So regarding your fundamental ebook, how can you tell that the market is pricing in sentiment? For example, currently with the Euro USD trade deal, it seems obvious per the large sell-off. What about a less obvious example? I think that's a very good question, DJ. To be honest, I'm not at the moment. I can't come up with an example now, one on the spot, because I'm kind of distracted with all the other questions that we have. But I'll get back to you on that one.
Nabi, yes, last time we had a winner from South Africa, and he was really happy with his trading pit funded account.
Fabio, how well do you trust your 0.5 fib? To be honest, I trust it as much as, let me think of a very good example. Who's very trustworthy? I trust it as much as, I can't come up with a good example. Guys, I'm not very creative today, man. I'm struggling. Let's see. I'm looking for that question that just sparks the overall kind of like butterflies within my stomach, man. Most of the planned setups played out as well this week, but none retraced as per the system, so I missed all the entries. How do you deal with trades that run without giving an entry? I mean, at the end of the day, it's just part of the game. It depends obviously on how you enter trades. If you were to enter on fractal breaks as opposed to buy or sell limits, then you would have been tagged. So maybe backtest the difference, and maybe adjust your setup to current market conditions. Let's see, Fabio, when a pair is strongly bullish or bearish, not with the impulsive candles, but indecisive candles with wicks, how do you enter a pair like that with no clear supply or demand zone, like an EJ on the higher time frame? I mean, Euro Yen, even on the higher time frame, has very clear overall fractal structure if you look at the daily time frame. So Rob, day trading makes you money, but investing makes you wealth. Do you believe in that as well? 100%. Great question, Sarab. Sarab is definitely one of the most loyal members, guys. I think we really need to bless him. He's here every single stream, always coming in with the good questions and with the good feedback. So if the chat agrees, I think Sarab is actually our deserved winner for today, guys. I think it's a great question as well. Kind of motivational at the same time. But Sarab is a very loyal member to the stream. If you're here in the stream every single day, you know that he is here every single stream, always asking questions. So if the chat agrees, I think Sarab is definitely the deserved winner of today, guys. Does the chat agree? That's the question. I'm going to have you guys have a say in this as well. Every stream he's here donating as well. I see Nabi says yes. I see Manny says yes. Thomas says yes. Is that a fractal break on USD CAD? Let's go to USD CAD. York, I want to be the winner. MS Jackson. Yeah, guys, congratulations to Sarab, man. Sarab, he's here every single stream. Always donating to the cause of us here being on stream. I appreciate that highly of Sarab, guys. Big shout out to him. He's here every single stream, always asking good questions and donating. Actually, the only guy who donates next to Mitchell, who once donated, and Jimmy, I think, donated as well. Obviously, I'm never going to ask you guys to donate. Really, please keep your money to yourself. Also you, Sarab, but I do highly appreciate it.
The donations go straight to the red light district here in Amsterdam.
No, they don't, guys. They don't. Don't worry. Definitely do not. Let's see. They go to college funds. I'm going to try and send Rucker back to college. Straight from Mumbai.
You can do it.
Yeah, usually can very aggressive. Because the overall swing trend, like internal swing trend, is bullish, right?
Yeah, swing trend, and we have this order flow to break, so it is somewhat of a risky play, so not my favorite.
What's your biggest loss? Not in money, but in mindset. Sometimes the loss breaks your confidence very heavier than money gone. Yeah, definitely, man. I think the biggest kind of like mindset kind of like setback is definitely going into those steeper drawdowns, seeing like 5 funded accounts go all the way back down into like an 8% drawdown. That is definitely very, very tough. Also, just because you know the amount of time and effort you put into passing prop from challenges, so seeing around 5 or 6 of them go into heavy drawdown is one of the bigger kind of like setbacks, definitely in trading, I must say, that we've experienced. I said, I hope you're doing good. Please reduce yourself. Sorry, Edu. Henny, yeah, you're very late to the stream. I'm very sad that you're so late. Very sad that you're so late. Guys, when is the... Okay, Rod, is there any good trades forming for the rest?
Yes,
thanks, Siraj. You're looking good as well.
So I actually...
Let me give you the mic back.
I'm actually thinking about another short for gold because I really don't like this low. And the overall order flow is still bearish. I don't like this high either. So I would want to wait for a high break over here, then a proper fractal break, and then short gold back to the downside, because I think these are just early buyers getting into the market and they need to be stopped out before we can have like a new real move up from this area of demand, which is strong. 3 condition POI. Again, we had a liquidation. From here we had the swing break and we left out liquidity in the zone. Now we have the first step. we need early sellers to go, or early buyers, excuse me, and then we can get like a real move back to this supply, for example. So that is my expectation for gold. So just monitoring this and waiting for another sell-off. Also because of the trade deal, we have more risk on sentiment and a safe haven sell-off possibly. So I do see gold taking out these lows before we get like any new long opportunities. So that's it for gold.
Yeah, guys, and I think that's it as well for the stream. Another beautiful 50 minutes here on the stream. As always, a massive pleasure. We have 478 of you watching live. It would be amazing if you could just leave a like here on the stream before you leave, as an appreciation or token of appreciation of us being here every single Tuesday and Thursday. Again, we're going to be back on Thursday with another live stream. If you want to see anything specific in these live streams, guys, let us know in the Discord server. Join now. Description is in this video. Or description is in this video. The link is in the description of this video. So make sure to join the Discord through there. Be active, ask questions, and as always, you can just suggest new concepts and stuff. I think it's great to have Rutger here on the stream, guys. What do you think? Did you enjoy Rutger here on the stream? Let me know in the chat, guys, because then I'll make sure to kind of like drag him on here more often. And as always, with t-shirt on and focus on the charts, not talking about the red light district. But yeah, if you guys appreciated him being on the stream, then he's going to be here more often. Yes, we'll also do some more Discord lives for sure, maybe with some crazy live trading as well. We need more energy in the streams. Yeah, that's why I think it's just great to have Rutger here on as well. Next time I'll see if we can get maybe some beautiful something beautiful. I'm not going to say what, but something beautiful here on the stream, so that maybe some of you are going to stick around for longer. But great, glad to see the love for Rutger. Guys, as always, thank you so much for being here. As always, we're recording more vlogs, we're recording more content here on the Trading Academy channel. Again, a reminder, the market updates are now being sent on the Trading Academy market updates channel on YouTube. You can find the link as well inside Discord in the market updates channel. I want to thank you all for being here. As always, ciao, amazing day, amazing trading day, sending love, sending happiness, sending peace to the world. Let's all be happy, and yeah, that.
Guys, one more thing. I do have some one-on-one coaching spots open again. So if you like my way of trading, analyzing, and executing in the market like I do in the stream, then make sure to fill out the form. And maybe you can be my next coaching student. So if you're interested in that, also check out the description. Thanks, guys.